Hi. I thought I would explain how I broke my shoulder so I wouldn't have to type it, because my left shoulder is broken and I'm left-handed and I basically can do nothing with that arm. I can move the fingers fine, move the wrist fine, but anything that puts the slightest amount of stress on the shoulder doesn't work and is painful. So what I did is I went to get a swarm out of a tree down the south end of Hayward, about 10 miles away. And I was about to get my ladder out of the truck, which I had taken with me. And the neighbor across the street, busybody, friendly, but busybody, offered his. He thought it might be easier to place, and it's an orchard ladder, which I hadn't heard the term before, but it's one of those that has steps on one side and a single pole on the other. I've seen them before, and I've known their purpose. It was in an orchard, so I knew what he was talking about. But anyway, he went and got his ladder, and we placed it. I climbed it just to see that it was placed right, and it was good ladder. I was going to have to go a little higher on it than I really wanted, but it looked like it would work. Came back down and got the box I was going to put the bees in, and and in the meantime I had put my bee suit on, of course. And so I started back up, and there were branches in the way, so the homeowner cut some branches off. He offered to have me do it, but it was his tree, and it was really a nice looking tree, so I didn't want to make it uneven, so I let him do it. Anyway, I started back up the ladder with the box in hand, in my right hand, and I got about halfway up, and it was going to be easier to put it on the left side because of the branches. So I start maneuvering it over to the other side, and I think I got it all the way over, and then I started back up the ladder, and all of a sudden it wasn't under me any longer. I don't know, it seemed to me like it collapsed, but it was still in one piece after all the excitement, so it must have just tipped over. I grabbed for a branch to try to stop me going down, and of course that didn't work. But it seemed like I was going to be okay. I came down with my forearm level with the ground, so the force of the stopping, it was on lawn, not cement, that's a good thing. So the force of the stopping went to my elbow, which of course telescoped it straight up to my shoulder. Not that I was thinking quite that quickly at the time. So I'm laying there, and more in shock than in pain. Start evaluating. The homeowners, he and his wife, are both there being very concerned, as is the neighbor, and start moving things around, and I say, no, my legs are okay. I'd already checked out my legs and my hands, and I thought maybe I was just had a strain and I would be okay. But they helped me to my feet, and everything worked except anything related to my left arm. And just letting it hang, which was all I could do, it started to spasm, and then you could see it was the muscle was tense compared to the other arm. And anytime I tried to move the arm, it was either painful or wouldn't work, or a combination. So it seemed like it was awfully big here, and we thought it was dislocated. So I had the homeowner take me to the hospital, and I wanted somebody to pop it back into place. So I heard the faster you do it, the better. But they sent me for an x-ray, and waiting for the x-ray took a couple hours, and then once that was done, it took a while longer to wait for the doctor to evaluate it, and he said, well, it might be dislocated, it might not, but there's definitely a fracture. Which upset me at the time, but from what I've learned since, that might be an easier, faster, more complete recovery from a fracture than from a sprain, and certainly from a dislocation. But anyway, all that excitement happened about 7. I was checking into the ER at about 8, and I got out about 11:30. And I just got an appointment for an first appointment with an orthopedic surgeon. I was hoping for today, Monday, but their first opening was Wednesday afternoon. So I get to sit here with a splint with my dominant hand out. Typing is a very slow and laborious process. And standing up from lying down is kind of painful. And they gave me pain pills, but they make me fuzzy, so I don't like them. So I'm taking naproxen for the inflammation and Norco for the pain. And this gets to interrupt my life when I was going to be evaluating my beehives and hopefully harvesting some honey to sell at the fair, which starts on the 22nd. But we'll see how things go. That's enough for now. I hope you could hear this.